Hello and welcome. I am Lian Buon and this is Rappler Talk. Our special guest for today has been the subject of 15 hearings at the House Committee on Justice, which is determining probable cause to impeach her and send the complaint to the Senate for trial. None other than Supreme Court Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno. Chief, I remember your JBC interview when you were applying for the Chief Justice. You said what convinced you was people you don't know coming up to you, sending letters to you, saying that they want you to be Chief Justice. Looking back, ma'am, did you ever think that from that point you would reach where you are right now, that you're being impeached and the justices are testifying against you? How do you feel?
I think everyone has to be prepared for many contingencies. And the fact that we have been pushing reforms, and I come from an out-of-the-box kind of decision, means that there would indeed be some traditions that could give rise to questions being raised about leadership. Now, having said that, I think the testimonies are self-evident, Lian. Whether they are professional reasons for raising concerns or non-professional reasons, I think the viewers can very well judge that. And it is quite clear what the reasons are for the impeachment.
Ma'am, you mentioned professional. I also go back to your interview in 2015 with us, actually, in Rappler. You said there that, and I quote, "This court, regardless of the fact that a lot of emotions accompanied my appointment, actually proved to be professional in every sense." Would you still stay the same where you are now?
Well, I believe that when it comes to court productivity, I could maintain that statement because from 3,000 to 4,000 decisions a year, we are now beyond 6,000 and reaching 7,000. Having said that, that means that there is a way for managing emotions so that they do not get in the way of productivity. And I have been trying my best to ensure that the output of the court is something that we can be proud of before the Filipino people. So that remains. Now, whether that kind of statement spills over into the impeachment proceedings, let the people judge that. Because at the time I made that statement, the proceedings had not yet commenced.
Ma'am, everyone must be wondering what it's like to be in that room when you conduct your ANBank sessions every Tuesday, given the testimonies at the House.
Well, I think when you asked me the questions of whether the high emotions accompanying my appointment would deter my push for the Supreme Court's reform programs, I basically said no. And I think you could have taken my statement more seriously to mean that regardless of the emotions that are being displayed, I remain steady as ever.
Ma'am, has any accusation hurt you personally, and what's that if there is?
Now, when it comes to personal feelings, what I have been asking the judges to do is to transcend their own personal hurts so that they can remain impartial and fair at all times, and so that they can maintain a reputation as really very dignified professionals, people who are able to go above their personal hurts. And I manage my pain, I manage all of this in a way that is required of a leader in a very important branch of government. And I'm trying to set that as an example.
Can you think of one specific statement from the justices that may have hurt you, something they said at the House?
Well, I think their statements reflect more on them than on me. And especially when the other side of the story is finally unveiled. And I'm referring, of course, as everyone will understand, to a highly probable Senate trial. I think everything will be revealed. And I think their statements are more a reflection on them than on me.
Ma'am, at this point, are you trying to start the healing within the Supreme Court, trying to reach out to the justices who said some things about you on a personal level?
There are only a limited number of things we can do to address the emotions of others. Largely, how you deal with your emotions is your personal accountability. If the other person wants you to be on good terms again and you are not going to allow them because of your difficulty in managing your own emotion, then that's a problem of the person who has those kinds of emotions. So, Lian, the important thing is for the leader to maintain her eyes on the ball. The ball is justice for the Filipino people. That means we have to work every day, our hardest and best, to decide according to our best lights and to push for systemic reforms, because it's not just the process of deliberation that's important. How is the delivery system accompanying this process of deliberation? Are cases slow in being disposed of? Is there a monitoring system? And those systems have been put in place, are being put in place rather.
If you don't mind, ma'am, let me quote Justice De Castro. She said, hanggang kailan pa ba kami magtitiis? How do you respond to that kind of statement?
Palagay ko, yung mga ganong bagay, yung nagsabi ang kailangan mag-isip nun. Kasi parang sa maraming tao naman, ang daling sagutin yun eh. Bakit niya itinatapon yung tanong na yun sa Kongreso? Sa sarili niya, kaya niyang sagutin yun eh. So, bakit ko pag-iisipan kung anong dapat na response doon? Alam naman rin ng lahat kung kailan ang mga retirement dates, di ba? So, sila na ang kailangan mag-timbang ng mga ganong salita. Hindi ko problema yun.
Ma'am, what do you consider your biggest achievement in the court that this impeachment hearing will not take away from you? That is your legacy?
Madami. Unang-una, masasabi ko, no? At ako siguro ang masasabi mong nagbantay sa performance ng lahat ng levels ng judiciary. Napakalaking oras ang ginugol ko sa pagtingin sa output ng bawat level. Nagbilang kami ng seryoso, ilan ba talaga ang linalabas? Pwede pa bang itulak ang bawat isang huwes at bawat isang kawani para pabilisin ang mga gawain? Pinag-aralan ko po yung mga sistema, yung input-output table ng bawat isang proseso. Pinag-aralan ko yun. Palagay ko, wala pa ako nakikitang ganong kasusing pag-aaral. Pangalawang ginawa ko po, at ito ay nakakabusog sa puso na gunitain, yung Enterprise Information Systems Platform po, yung tinatawag nating EISP, na naaprubahan ho yun nung panahon ni Chief Justice Davide, and then in-affirm ulit ni Chief Justice Puno, at naroon po rin naman yun nung time ni Chief Justice Corona. Ito po ay produkto ng isang 50 million peso study. Ganon ho kamahal ang ibinayad ng World Bank para sa study na ito.
Under CJ Davide, ma'am.
Opo, yung proyektong yun, no? 50 million pesos to come up with a study on what is needed in the judiciary. Ngayon, nung ako po ay naupo, binasa ko pong personal itong Enterprise Information Systems Platform. Doon po sa mga nakakasalamuha sa IT industry, parang ito po ay isang Enterprise Resource Platform. Parang SAP, parang mga ganun ho, no? From front-end delivery of service all the way to the back-end operations, integrated lahat. And the work is so massive that it requires integration of more than 25,000 courts nationwide. From the lowest level court, yung municipal trial court and yung mga kasing level na courts niya, then regional trial courts, and then the tertiary level courts, which are the Court of Tax Appeals, Sandigan Bayan, and the Court of Appeals, and all the way to the Supreme Court. Integrated po yan. Spread across more than 740 stations nationwide. Kasi may mga courts po tayong stand-alone sa isang munisipyo, may mga courts naman tayong multi-branches sa isang istasyon. But you have to connect all of them. So it is a nationwide platform. Front-end meaning when the litigants file, The end in view is already electronic filing. And when they are filed, the storage platform is digital. Meaning, hindi, kung halimbawa ho, bahain, gaya ng sa Haiyan o Yolanda, no, yung court records po namin nalunod. So, it took time for us to recover and hindi na namin ma-recover yung iba. Kailangan namin i-reconstruct. Kung maililipat natin po yan into an electronic platform, kaya magbaha, tsunami man, lindol, apoy man, nandun po yan sa isang form na ang dali-dali pong i-retrieve kasi electronically stored. And ang ginawa po na isang kaibahan, so yun po ang gagawin ho yan, no? So para sa lahat ng mga gustong mapabilis at gustong bawasan ang mga punong napuputol dahil sa sobrang paggamit ng papel, ito pong electronic platform ay napakaganda. Hindi lang po ito, i-accompany po ito ng electronic notification. Meaning, hindi na ho kailangan personal na pumunta para mamalaman ang schedule ng mga hearings, kundi lahat both by SMS system, email, and an electronic site na open sa lahat ng users, they will already be able to schedule. Just imagine yung traffic, yung gasolina, yung oras sa pag-drive papunta sa korte, wala na po yan. Pupunta sa korte, yung pala ipopostpone. Hindi na po yan mangyayari in the future. Naka-schedule na po yan, yung calendaring will be also electronically generated. Lahat ng courts will have electronic raffle, so wala nang magsasabing may hocus-pocus. And then, because it is integrated, the records will be elevated all the way to the Supreme Court in a single platform na secure. And right after every hearing, as it is happening now, there are now more than 100 courts using the automated hearing platform. Pagkatapos ng hearing, yung order i-deliver orally ng judge habang tinatype ng stenographer or legal researcher, kung sinong nandun po. And right away, it is immediately physically served on the parties. So yung snail mail po na 2 months, 3 months, in between every incident, wala na po yun. So ang gandang kahusayan, kabilisan at kitipiran ang idudulot nitong Enterprise Information Systems Platform. Ngayon po, 50 million pesos worth yung study na yon. Ang nadagdag ho nating unique ngayon na napakaganda is because of our disasters po, is the disaster recovery sites. Ang gagawin po natin is spread natin yung storage nito sa iba't ibang locations. Assuming po magkaroon ng problema dito sa Manila. For example, our office is in Padre Faura. Nandun po yung data, central storage data server namin. Kung halimbawa ho, magkaroon ng baha sa Maynila na 2 feet, 3 feet, 5 feet, o kaya lindol, fire, pag na-shutdown po yun, meron ho kaming redundancy. Meron ho kami sa Angeles. At meron pa ho kami sa ibang regions na ilalagay. So, hindi mo pwedeng i-shutdown ang judiciary. So, this is the first, I think, in all modesty, Lian, no? I think if we are able to successfully implement this will be the first nationwide enterprise resource platform of this magnitude, and the kind of data storage that it will take care of, and the kind of efficiencies it will introduce. This is something very exciting. Tinutukan ko po ito.
At what stage na po ang EISP, ma'am? Is it 40, 50% complete?
Before I assumed leadership in this area, no, the court only had a budget of around 600 million. Ang ginagawa nila noon, bibili sila noon ng hardware, either desktop or laptop, i-charge doon. So, minimal usage of the funds. And they were thinking of purchasing 2 softwares at the time. When I sat down and read the EISP, I said that the vision is a grand one. We cannot allow ourselves as a people, having the best IT professionals in the world, having the best management information systems in the world, professionals in the world, to have this low-level technology being used. Nakakahiya. It's so embarrassing. It's a disservice to the talents of our people. I said, we should aim high to implement the spirit of the EISP. After all, it's a very expensive study in the beginning. So, with the help of Ms. Helen Makasaet, who really sacrificed a lot for the court and gave up a lot to help the court. From the 600 million, we were able to get roughly around 4.2 billion in all.
That was her doing.
That's a more than 600% increase because she was able to present to all the relevant actors in the DBM and even to those who are hearing us in Congress the entire vision of the EISP and the amounts of money it would need to push for this. So that's a major achievement. And Congress was impressed. Congress was impressed and DBM was impressed by the architecture that we laid out. And the fact that we were able to roll out already electronic courts, even at the pilot stage, and that we had the political will to deliver this. Because everybody knows that automation in government, masyado mahirap, di ba? May mga sad stories tayo. Beauty of Customs. How many times? BIR nahirapan din dyan eh. Sobra ang birth pains, sobra ang difficulties, especially when you're talking of government. But here they saw one major branch pushing for really an integrated automation program that will have around 22 software applications integrated to serve one judiciary. And direct ang benefit sa taong bayan.
Sabi niyo nga po, EISP is a grand project. It benefits a lot of people. But coincidentally, it's also one thing that's being controversial right now, the hiring of Ms. Makasaet. I know you can't go into the merits of her hiring, but how would you explain that it's being made to look like that the court wasted funds on Ms. Makasaet, paying her 250,000 a month?
I don't think it is my burden to explain why it is happening. I think it's the burden of the complainant and those who are supporting him to explain why they are complaining in the first place.
But you would vouch for her contribution to the EISP?
I have seen it. We have already 22% of the EISP already in the operational stage. I want to find out if we are going to be compared to other organizations. Are we on a good track or not? I think when the EISP is fully explained to the people, and that will happen, as I said, at a later stage of the proceedings, people can have a vision of a future where justice is delivered and actually felt on real time. Because that's really the ideal here. Justice never and no longer delayed, but justice delivered on real time. And it is enabled by information technology. And we are good at it. You know, the automation programs of other countries were spearheaded by Filipino talent. It is a shame that we are unable to do that here in our own country, and it should really happen. And I believe that in the judiciary, it should really happen.
Chief, rough estimate, where are we in the EISP? Completed na po ba ito?
Oh, itong latest update natin, no? As I earlier said, those that are operational, we have 22% already. And these are the Judiciary Data Center at the Supreme Court, the disaster recovery site in Angeles City, Phase 1 of the IT infrastructure for the judiciary, systems integration services, meaning internet connectivity. For Phase 1, Lot 1 and 2, 4A and 7, and the judiciary email system. Those are already in the operational system stage. Those that are under procurement right now, the regional data centers in Tagaytay, Lapu-Lapu, and Davao, the legal resource management system, lawyer information system, electronic FieldJA, which is our training academy system, and digitization of court records. And the preparatory stage or the pre-procurement stage, the IT infrastructure phase 2, the rest of the enterprise resource planning system, eCourts version 3 plus documents, records, and archiving, judiciary portal, MISO process modernization program, systems integration services, and the hearing management system. Yung sinabi kong under procurement, yung second is 26%, and the pre-procurement stage is 52%. That's quite a lot already.
Given that the contract of Ms. Makasaet has been terminated, how do we proceed?
Well, maybe I will need to make a call to the private sector. After hearing what we have tried to explain, and this is just the initial explanation, we've actually made presentations of these in several public fora that I attended, but maybe greater elucidation of these, especially those who are engaged in IT systems, no? I will make out a call. In the same way that I made and asked Helen to be open to sacrificing for the country, para sa bayan, I will again make a call para sa bayan. Pwede nyo ba kaming tulungan? Kasi napakaganda ng pangarap namin. Pwede nyo po ba kaming tulungan na maatim ang pangarap namin para sa bayang Pilipinas? Para naman sa tao ito para sa atin lahat ito.
So ma'am, the hearings did not deter you from continuing the project in partnership with the private sector, getting another consultant?
Hindi naman dapat Kasi kung hindi talaga kami papasok dito, anong mangyayari sa judiciary? Di yung galit ng tao na lang hindi maiibsan. Sasabihin nila, bakit hindi nyo in-overhaul yung system? Bakit nyo hindi ginamit ang ICT upang babilisin ang system? Alam nyo namang merong ICT capabilities tayo. Bakit nyo hindi ginawa? Dahil mahirap? Dahil may nagrereklamo? Dahil may mga personal na issue? Yung mga bayan ba, dapat balakid sa tunay na gawain ng hustisya? Hindi naman Alam mo, hindi dapat ang hirap ang titingnan. Hindi dapat yung mga balakid na tinatapon ng mga tao sa iyong mga gustong gawing programa o progreso para sa taong bayan. Ang dapat tingnan mo, yung talagang objective natin of delivering justice. Focus your mind on that. Huwag isipin yung obstacle, yung ingay, yung criticism. Hindi yun kasing importante ng buong pusong pagbigay mo ng iyong lakas upang maatim yung hustisya para sa bayan. Hindi natin mapaparamdam sa tao, and this is worldwide, ang hustisya hanggat hindi natin gagawin itong automation program na ito.
Ma'am, if I may, I'll go to the issue of SALN. Complainant Larry Gadon has filed even a criminal graft complaint against you kasi daw may missing SALN, hindi nila mahanap. The UP doesn't have it, Ombudsman doesn't have it daw. Ma'am, did you or did you not file your SALNs on this period?
Maganda. Abangan nyo yan sa Senado. Maganda po yung mangyayari dyan sa Senado tungkol dyan sa issue na yan.
So you're confident you'll be able to explain this?
Yes.
Ma'am, if I may push, kasi pag SALN sa utak ng mga Pilipino, they immediately connected to SALN, hidden wealth, corruption. Would you want to address them right now about whether or not you hid wealth from them?
Nakita na ng taong bayan ang bahay ko. Alam ng lahat kung paano kami mamuhay. Walang mahanap na hidden wealth. Anong itatago ko? Ang pinakamalaking kinita namin galing sa gobyerno, reported sa BIR, reported sa COA, fully paid ang taxes. Kaming mag-asawa, wala namang kaming kayang itagong kahit anong kayamanan. Open book ang aming buhay. Pero 7 taon na. Ito isipin mo na lang, Lian. 7 taon na nila akong binabantayan very closely. Yung mga nagsasabi na kailangan akong bantayan. Alam mo naman natin siguro kung sino yung mga yan. 7 taon at siguro kalahating. 7 taon na. Walang makita. Ni bahid ng korupsyon. So, siguro, mas maganda pang istorya ang pwede nating ilahad. Pwede ba nating sabihin? Pwede ba nating gawin ang standard? Talagang lahat ng mga high officials, talagang ipakita ang pamumuhay nila?
And now, ma'am, the House Justice Committee has ordered the BIR to launch an official investigation into your tax compliance.
Okay. Ayoko kasing pangunahan ng lawyers ko, no? Meron silang mga issuances na ilalabas. So, abangan natin. Siguro, either today, next week, merong response ang legal team. Diyan.
Ma'am, you said kanina 7 taon ka nang binabantayan. Sino po ang nagpapabantay sa inyo?
Palagay ko alam ng taong bayan kung sino-sino mga interesado na malaman ang pamumuhay ng isang husgado na nagsisabing independent ako. At from the time I had my interview before the JBC when I was being asked, when I was being considered for the position of Associate Justice, I have always maintained that I will be, because I know how to stand on my values, and I made a full disclosure of what that value system consists of. I will remain independent, and I have maintained that to this very day.
Ma'am, you were quoted to have said in a conference, in a church event po ata, that you said that you have been tried to be influenced by past presidents. Would you care to expound na?
Wag na lang siguro muna. There is a reason why it has to be as short as that, Lian.
Ma'am, let's talk about decentralization. For the viewers, ito yung RCAO na naririnig nila po ulit-ulit sa House of Representatives. It's the Regional Court Administration Office. Would you want to explain to the people kung ano po yung decentralization, why you pushed for it, why it's important?
Everywhere you go, Lian, all the lower courts say, ang tagal ng delivery ng aming office supplies. Ang tagal ng pag-approve ng aming mga administrative leaves. Ang tagal ng processing ng aming hinihingi sa Padre Faura. Then, ibig sabihin, decentralization is a must. And it was approved by the Court and Bank during the time of Chief Justice Davide. So, it is just in keeping with the desire of the NBank that this move arose. And I don't think the NBank has ever wavered from the desire to decentralize.
It's halted now, ma'am, because of the issue raised by Justice De Castro. And one of the things she said in the House hearing is that you put someone else in charge instead of the Office of the Court Administrator, which is headed by Court Administrator Midas Marquez. To be able to proceed with the project, do you consider putting him back in charge of RCAO?
Ano na yan? Details na yan ng impeachment, no? So, let's not dwell on that because there is a right time for that to be answered.
Ma'am, if I can push another, ano po yung response nyo sa sinabi ni Justice Hardaleza that you were the one who committed treason when you tried to exclude him from the shortlist of the JBC?
Siguro magandang sa Senate natin ma-fully clarify yung mga issues na binabato ng ibang tao.
Ma'am, this happened kasi mga 2014, if I'm not mistaken. Since then, 3 years since hindi pa po ba kayo nagkausap ni Justice Hardaleza?
No, I have to talk with everybody. It is required of me to talk with everybody. I have to do it. Otherwise, paano aandar ang court?
Ma'am, there was also an issue of you advising Justice Reyes not to pay a courtesy call on the President. What was the wisdom po behind that?
Alam mo, siguro, when we have the right to cross-examine, kasi one-sided ito, di ba? It's obviously one-sided. I requested that I be heard through my lawyers. They should be asked to clarify certain questions, certain measures that should have ensured a fuller picture. We have seen denial of those measures. Now that the Senate is a trial type proceeding where both sides will need to be heard, I think you will get a fuller picture of that. Yung context and everything else, that will come out very clearly, and I assure the public very clearly.
You've mentioned in an earlier interview that you put so much value in your independence that you don't think of arranging an audience with the President or things like that. Can you explain po why it's important to preserve the independence?
The Chief Justice must not only be genuinely independent, she must also bear the appearance of genuine independence. So, it is important to me that people not surmise or speculate regarding any private audience I may have with the President. So, I will deal with him professionally in the form that the Constitution contemplates so that no citizen will ever suspect that I am in the business of entering into deals.
Ma'am, if I could pick your mind on constitutional issues, branches of the government have been clashing left and right recently, and you're familiar to that. You stepped in when the House of Representatives clashed with the Court of Appeals on the Ilocos 6 issue. Do you think that these clashes are taking us closer to a constitutional crisis? Is there something to be worried about?
The the Constitution should be everyone's North Star. And it should even be the desire of every Filipino to see that Constitution come fully alive. Now, you hear some people saying that the legislature has not done its job by legislating the laws that needed to come out of the principles that are enshrined in the Constitution. Then you also see some people saying that the Constitution must be changed, and they are proposing this form and that form of changing that Constitution. Now, those questions are justiciable issues should they come before us. In all probability, they will be considered as justiciable. And because you say that the clashes are happening, then the imminence can be felt of these issues coming closer to us. And because of that, it is wise that I not respond to that. No. But there is an underlying theme. Tagalogin ko na, no? Para ang sinasabi mo, parang hindi ba dapat mabahala na ang taong bayan kasi parang may krisis na ang bayan. Kasi nagbabanggaan kamo ang mga sangay ng gobyerno. Ang iniisip ko, may mga banggaan talagang hindi maiiwasan. May mga banggaang maaring pinapaigting o sinasadya. Ngayon, nasa sa taong bayan ang obligasyon na magbantay. Kasi ayon sa konstitusyon, limitado naman ang kayang gawin ng hudikatura. Sasama lang siya sa usapin pag nandiyan na ang kaso sa harap niya. Hindi niya pwedeng pigilan. At huwag kayong mangbanggaan, ayusin niyo muna, hindi yun ang role ng hudikatura. Nandun na yon ang role ng hudikatura, pumapasok pag nagbanggaan na, tapos ang isa sa mga partido nagsabing punta tayo sa hukom. Doon kami papasok. So yung pagbangga na yan, hindi namin kayang talagang pigilan. Ngunit, nasa sa kamay ng mga kababayan natin ang magsabing mag-ayos kayo, magsing-ayos kayo, pag-usapan niyo ang mga bagay. Huwag niyong pag-igtingin ang pagkahati-hati ng ating bayan. Nasa sa ating mga Pilipino na po yun. Gaano natin kamahal ang ating bayan, gaano natin iniisip na hindi makabubuti itong harapan o tagisang banggaan ng mga sangay.
Ma'am, as you said, lahat ng tanong na ito aakyat at aakyat sa Supreme Court in the end. Given that the court has decided so many controversial cases in the past 2 years, and the disagreements inside the court have been exposed, could you assure the Filipino people that this is still a Supreme Court that they can trust with their Constitution?
Ang tingin ko, matra-trust nila ang fact na pinag-uusapan namin ng husto ang mga issues. Yan ang duty ko as a Chief Justice. Nagsa-certify ako na kami nag-uusap, nagdi-discuss, nagkakaroon ng banggaan, yung mga panahon na nagkakaroon nga ng banggaan pag nakakita ka ng dissenting opinions. At matapos ang isang usapan, malimit, masidhi ang mga puntos na binabanggit doon, naglalabas kami ng mga written opinions namin. Yun na ma-assure ko sa kanila na ang proseso ay umiinog at yung proseso ay nasusundan.
Chief, would you care to answer, ano po ba yung, what do you think is the biggest threat to our democracy and the Constitution right now that you see?
Yung kulang ng pagmamahal sa bayan, kasama ng pagsasantabi ng halaga ng due process rights ng mga tao. Ang impatience ng mga tao at ang hilig nila or ang pag-tolerate nila ng shortcuts, yun ang threat sa democracy natin. Yun, kaya kailangan meron tayong communication program eh. Ang communication program na ito dapat all the way to every citizen, kahit bata. Kailangan kayong mapakinggan. Hindi pwede kayong ipakulong na lamang nang hindi tinitingnan ang mga akusasyon laban sa inyo at tinitingnan ang mga ebidensya laban sa inyo. Pagkat kaya nga importante ang due process at ang hukuman kasi yung maliliit, sa banggaan ng malalaki, ipit ang maliliit, kawawa lagi ang maliliit. Ang korte ay para sa maliliit para siguraduhin sa banggaan ng political forces at economic forces, hindi sila malalaglag na lamang, kundi mapapakinggan ang boses nila. Kaya mo lamang gawin yon pag malakas ang hudikatura. Kasi everybody talks about the judiciary being the weakest branch of government. Wala kaming armas, wala kaming pera. Ang pondo kasi nasa Kongreso, sila lang nagdidesisyon. Kung gayon, moral voice lang ang meron ng judiciary. And that moral voice can only have strength if the people support the judiciary. People must believe in due process rights for every citizen. Kami talaga ang kakampi ng mga walang boses.
The belief in due process, what do you think is destroying this belief in due process?
Lahat sana ng abogado at lahat sana ng citizen, huwag isantabi ang importansya niyan. At huwag itulak ang mamamayan natin na solusyonan lang ng basta-basta ang isang bagay. Suspetsa ka, wala ka na. Hindi pwede. Nakakalungkot lalo na sa mga mahihirap. At yung mga hindi kaya ng abogado, yung hindi kilala, yung walang kapit sa politika, paano na lang sila? Napakahirap, no? Ang sinasabi ng lahat ng mga mabigating nobelista at historians, ang mga revolusyon daw dahil sa kakulangan ng hustisya, pagkat ang hustisya ay importante ng tinapay o pagkain. Ganun po ang paniwala ko. Kaya yung focus ko na lamang na ibaba all the way ang systems reform sa lowest court para mabilis at marakita nila ang pantay na hustisya. Importante po yun.
Ma'am, on the war on drugs, I know you said justiciable din to, aakitin sa Supreme Court so you can't comment, but you created the technical working group along with Justices Carpio and Velasco. It was headed by Presiding Justice Kabutahetang to look into our existing laws, if we can give the court more teeth or a more proactive role in addressing human rights abuses. Ano na po yung update dito sa TWG?
May mga tinitingnan na nga namin lahat ng mga remedies ngayon. It's still in the process of being studied, yung mga recommendations nila. And if we need further data, we need that. Now, with respect to yung war on drugs, remember that there is this Tokhang case brought by some citizens about the killings that happened in Santa Ana, Baguio, etc. So it's under deliberation by the court right now. So it's important that I basically just say that things are under deliberation by the court right now.
Understood. Ma'am, given everything that's happened, the impeachment hearings, do you still think that you're the best person to lead the Supreme Court, and the never-ending question na, will you ever consider resigning from your post?
Medyo self-serving naman yung i-analyze ko yung first part of your question. I don't think I am at all supposed or will even venture to answer that. No? Evidently, hindi dapat ako sasagot dyan. Yung pangalawa, yung sinasabi mong never-ending question, ay talagang never-ending answer din ang sasabihin ko. Hindi ako magre-resign. Bakit? Malinis ang konsyensya ko. Anong itinatago ko? Bakit ako magre-resign? Anong problema ng mga tao? Is it yung nakita niyong self-evident testimonies that are marami na. People have described the testimony sufficiently. I don't need to add to the description.
Chief, one story that you like to tell is a point in time when you were a lawyer, that you left being a lawyer to be able to raise your young family at the time, and then you went back to service. Ngayon po, given everything that's happened, do you sometimes think na sana nagstay na lang ako raising my family, didn't join the Supreme Court, and this would not happen to me?
I did not leave being a lawyer. I left a law firm track. Kasi yung law firm track na yun, power and yaman yun no? Kasi if you belong to the biggest law firm, yung future mo medyo quite assured. It's pretty much assured. I don't regret anything. And You don't regret things simply because your circumstances are difficult. Trials are there for a reason. Difficulties are not to be feared but are to be overcome by an unwavering and purposive walk to make sure that you are able to serve people. It is not easy to serve our country. And I think I speak for all government officials who, in their very quiet ways, are just doing their best. But it must be done. So it's not a question of the level of difficulty. That is not a factor. It's a question of whether it must be done. And it must. Regardless of the odds that are stacked against you, you fight. Not because it is your victory is assured. It never is. But because you must fight. It is the right thing to do. And it is wrong to quit simply because it is difficult. The reason why perhaps we cannot put many things in this country together is because people quit.
Ma'am, how about your family? How are they taking this so far? Meron ba silang sinasabi sa inyo na sana wala na lang tayo sa ganitong posisyon?
My husband is my strongest supporter. He's a very steady person. So I believe that when you talk about family support, they know their mother well enough. They know my heart. They know my heart is for service. And they know that simply because there are challenges that must be overcome, they know that I will persist. So it's not, quitting has not entered my mind.
Ma'am, you said in one of your speeches, it was in Cebu, you said, do not be afraid to be a minority. Would you agree that you're a minority in the court right now insofar as how they testified, the justice has testified against you, and then a minority in the major decisions? You still don't find a reason to fear being a minority after everything that's happened?
I don't think the picture is complete, right? So you have heard 1, 2, 3 testimonies on 1, 2, 3 issues. That does not complete the work of the court. And why should anyone fear being in the minority for any issue at all? As long as you know you are in the right. And that is what makes for character. And that is what makes for real living. To be with the popular tide, it's so easy, it's so convenient. But that is not what makes us truly human. That is not what forges destiny. It's never popularity because it's so easy to flow with the mob, with the voice of the mob. But to call for reason, sobriety, fairness, justice, and truth, that is the real work of justice, and that is the real work that must be done in this country.
Ma'am, I think we can all agree that the value of the legal profession or the lawyers have never been more important at our point in our history. What can you say to the lawyers, especially the young ones who are looking for you for guidance?
They should never give up. And they should never, never let those who are jaded in life influence them. When people say, and I have heard this, hanggang kailan ka pa mag-hold on to your idealism? And it was asked,
said to you, ma'am?
No, hindi sa akin, sa isang kaibigan ko sa Judiciary rin. That question should not even actually be asked. But people think that there is a point when you give up on your ideals. Why should you? Is money all that important? Does power make a person? Do these add to you? They do not. Do positions of influence enrich you? Internally, they do not. All of these are external. All of these things are transitory. They are actually, in the end, meaningless. The only things that really count is your service to others. Did you give up your life so that others may live?
Chief, until 2030, this idealism, this drive, this focus to reform the judiciary, could you promise the people that it will not waver until you step down in 2030?
It will never waver. there is no reason for it to waver. There is no higher calling in life. There is nothing more beautiful than to make out a call for truth, justice, and righteousness. There is nothing more noble and uplifting for our people to hear a clear voice that says, there is hope. Hang on to that hope. We will overcome.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That has been Supreme Court Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno. I am Lian Buan. This is Rappler Talk. Thank you for watching.